I know you can't see from down there, but we have similar handwriting. It's known as engineer handwriting. That's right. So I know this next guy is going to be almost as awesome as I am. Please make welcome Brandon Norman.
Good evening, everybody. So I've been thinking lately about how when you're younger and in school, people lie to you constantly. Your authority figures think up ridiculous lies to tell you, like your parents love you, or that Pride and Prejudice is worth reading, and that it's going to help you in your life, or that you need to write cursive. But the best one I can think of, I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I have no time on my hands, or too much time on my hands. So when I was in middle school, our guidance counselor was coming around because apparently there was a bullying epidemic at our school, and they needed to tell us about not bullying other kids. And so she showed us this video called Broken Toy, which featured a child who was much like me being bullied by a bunch of other kids. So this was going to be a fun experience for me. So in the video, what happens is these kids pick on this little boy, and he gets really upset about it and runs into the street while on the playground. And so when he gets into the street, about 500 feet away from him is a car going maybe 10 miles an hour. And what proceeded to happen next is what I like to call slow chicken, where the kid turns and looks at the car and stares at it, while the driver, who I'm assuming is having a terrible day, and just really wants to hit a kid, or doesn't want to look like a pussy in front of his girlfriend, decides that he's not going to turn or stop or anything. He's going to keep going, and they play drunk chicken until the man drives over this boy. And the kids who are bullying this young man were sat down by their guidance counselor and told him, he's a broken toy, as the title suggested. You played with him like a toy and then you broke him. But the best part of it was after the video ended, our guidance counselor looked very, she looked at us, she wanted to make a point, and she said, that little boy, he, that was an awful thing that happened to him. This is a true story, and I'm not even lying. She looked at us straight in the face and said, that young man, he grew up, and his name was Michael Myers. And I believed it, because I didn't know any better. But I thought she meant Mike Myers. So I didn't know why that was such a bad thing. It was like, oh, so those kids bullied him, and they didn't have him as a friend later. But continuing along my adolescence, when I was in high school, I was kind of socially awkward. I don't know if you can tell. I had a face like this, and so I didn't fit in well with other kids. But I didn't, I went to church, and I very much enjoyed going to church, and I never had the sex talk. So I would hear things, around school that I wouldn't really understand what they meant, and so I would repeat them, and get in trouble with my parents. A memorable example is one time in the car, my brother was getting on my nerves, and I turned to him and I said, "Evan, stop it, or I'm going to masturbate you." I didn't know that I was telling my brother, what I was telling my brother I was going to do, because one of my friends used that as trash talk on the street hockey court. And so my dad proceeded to pull me into our washer dryer. When we got home, my mom and brother went inside, and my dad kind of held me back and was like, "Brandon, I need to talk to you." He's like, "You know what you told your brother?" I was like, "No, what was wrong with what I said?" And he explained to me that what I told my brother was that I was going to stroke his penis until the white stuff came out of it. And that was the closest I got to having a sex talk. So yesterday was Valentine's Day, and there were some assumptions that were thrown around. I had two assumptions I was running with all day. First of all, if I saw anyone running, I just jumped to the conclusion that they were either running to declare their love to someone else, like Say Anything style, or running to tell someone they need to get tested. That's the only reason someone should be running on Valentine's Day. The other assumption was that at work, my manager looked at me and was like, of all the people who are going to have things to do on Valentine's Day, you're definitely not one. So I worked 12 hours yesterday. I don't understand it, because I feel like I'm a really desirable guy. I'm a 24-year-old college dropout. I have over $100,000 of student loan debt to my name. I collect comic books, and how do you say this? I still live with my mom, ladies. My name is Brandon Norman, and that is all I got.